What's going on, Bulls Nation, and welcome in to CHGO Bulls Postgame, presented by Pointsbet. Don't forget that promo code CHGO when you sign up to get those 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000 and live yourself a bet life.
Live it!
I'm Matt. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. This is Big Dave. Follow him at BWL Sports. We're hanging out in our downtown Chicago studios here at CHGO. Our producer, Joey, hanging out with us. We'll talk to Will Gottlieb later on in tonight's show. He'll call in from the UC after he tunes in for postgame. And welcoming back our buddy, our pal down there in Australia, Mark K at MK Hoops on Twitter. Yeah. Mark, what's up, buddy?
It's a tough day to be a Vooch apologist, I'll say that. I did not time my appearance well this week.
You know what? It is not a tough night to be a Vooch apologist.
Oh, no. Not for this guy.
Cracking that one for Vooch. Cracking that one for the Bulls, making the playoffs for the first time in 5 fucking years.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Let me join you in that, man. Let me join you in a playoff swig. Mark, if you have one, pick it on up if you got one. Joey.
Mark, where's your fat yak?
This is water here, sir. This is water here. Like, it's all right.
Cheers.
That might be the most useful Vooch has been while having a 3 for 19 kind of night. I don't care. I do not care.
Mark,
tonight, I do not care.
Mark, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story, Mark. Let me tell you a story. And then, Joey, I'm going to get you in on this too. So when we were watching the game early on, Grayson Allen gets the steal, takes the ball, snatches, I forget from who, but he takes the ball, takes it all the way to the other end, gives Kobe White the off arm, goes up and scores. Matthew Peck lost his complete beautiful mind, screamed at the top of his lungs and went insane. Now, Joey, the reason I'm bringing you in because you guys were sitting over there, just having a nice discussion about things going on.
We were having a serious conversation about workflow, about, with Jake, like the GM here at CHGO, conversation completely interrupted. I had to go over there and make sure something wasn't seriously wrong.
Now, what was the reaction from you 3 guys when you heard Peck go?
For me, it was me, Jake, and Lawrence.
Right.
I didn't have a reaction. I'm used to this. This is what I'm doing on a nightly basis now. This is my life for the last month or so. Jake and Lawrence were, thought that there might have been a medical emergency or something was happening, but no, I was like, no. I mean, it was probably just like a missed free throw or something, guys.
Yes.
It was
a missed free throw, he said.
Probably something pretty small, honestly.
Now, Mark, so I'm telling you that part to tell you this part. Then when at the end, when Grayson Allen goes up and Vooch lays him down on the ground, this man here with that same kind of vigor, same type of everything, went insane, but positively. It was the same thing, Mark, but positively. He just was so elated and happy. He loved Vooch. I think he went on his phone and bought a Vooch jersey. He was out of his mind happy, Mark. It was wild.
Well, I mean, we already knew the man had issues. I mean, that's been long established by now on the podcast based on his emotional levels for certain things. But look, even me as someone who has been about, like, who cares about this Grayson Allen stuff? Like, who cares at this point? It's months ago. Like, when Vooch laid him out a bit there, it was kind of amusing, in part because I knew it would make Matthew happy. So that makes me happy.
Yeah, it made me
happy. Thank you, my friend. Look, I see a whole bunch of people in the comments already being like, how are we celebrating this? You're backing into the playoffs. This team's not going to win a single playoff game. Like, Grayson Allen went off tonight. Why do you care that he got laid out? Y'all, talk to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Talk to me tomorrow.
Seriously.
That is what my vibe is right now. Because guess what? We sent a message that needed to be said to Grayson Allen in our building. Don't bring that shit or it will come around on you. That is why I love Vooch tonight and always. More importantly, y'all, did you forget that we have been out of the playoffs by a lot for 5 years? I don't care that we lost to the Bucks again tonight by 21 again tonight. I don't care. The Bulls are back in the playoffs, y'all. After everything that we have suffered and endured, I don't want to hear shit tonight.
Not tonight.
That is not positive. Look, we can talk all day tomorrow and the next day and the next day. The Bulls are going to have a week off while the other teams have their play in.
Yeah.
We can talk all throughout that week about what's wrong here and what's wrong there. And Lonzo ain't coming back and this team can't beat real teams. Not tonight. Not tonight. No. Enjoy this for frick's sake.
Yes, you must be happy. You must learn that. And listen, like you said, we're going to get into all that stuff. That's the problem. Do you not see the people, the intelligent basketball minds that are on this show? Do you not see that dude on the screen with the hat on? Not this dude with the hat on. That dude with the hat on right there, Mark K. Do you not know Will Gottlieb is on this show? Like, it is some intelligent basketball minds going on here. We're going to have those discussions. That is going to happen. But tonight, this is what we wanted. We ain't seen this in years. I was just telling Matt was out there. I was like, the thing about this, why it sucks so bad and why we're so happy is because the previous years, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even like they were trying, almost like, oh man, we just missed the playoffs. Maybe we can try again next year. They had no fucking shot from the jump. From the beginning, it was over. It was done. You weren't getting in, period. I'm not used to that as a Bulls fan, okay? I understand when they're going through those tanking things. Okay, means to an end. I get all that, whatever. But this right here, they were trying to be a basketball team and were failing miserably in front of our faces. That sucked. I didn't want to go back to that. I wanted to get to the playoffs. What do we say from the beginning? Give me a 6 seed for this team. I want to be a 6 seed and get into the playoffs because I want to go to the dance. I'm tired of not being in the dance. At the dance. I'm at the dance, y'all. I'm there. I'm in there. I'm going to enjoy this tonight. I promise you, we're going to get real about it real soon. But tonight, clap it up for the Chicago Bulls for being in the damn playoffs. Yes, this is good. Oh, I feel awesome. Sorry, Mark.
So are you guys suggesting I shouldn't bring up the fact that the Bulls are 21st in net rating since January 1? Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm saying. I'm saying you can bring that up tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Look,
I also won't mention that they're 22 and 24 over their last 44 games or whatever that total out to be. I'll bring that up tomorrow. I'll make sure to raise that tomorrow. But today the Bulls are in the playoffs. But I mean, being serious for a second, this whole thing is a matter of perspective. On one hand, like the people going completely extreme in the sense that, this season's a failure or whatever it may be, or they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. They're bad. The Vooch sucks. This player sucks. Whoever sucks. Whatever. Okay. Like things haven't obviously gone as we'd hoped over the last few months. But at the same time, to your point, Dave, entering this season, had the Bulls been a playoff team, had they not necessarily gone into the play-in situation, had they got to where they are now, like a 6 seed, and got to the playoffs after not getting there for 4 odd years, we would have all been very happy with that. Like that was my median expectation. That's what we've got now. Now, obviously, as the season got underway in the first 33 games, the team had a top 10 offense, a top 10 defense. They were the top of the East. I get that expectations change at that point, but at the same time, like extra expectations that should then change back when we start getting all these injuries, when we start seeing the team for, like I said, the last number of months have been, an ordinary basketball team. So at this point, let's revel in what we can, and that is getting to the playoffs. That is something nice, at least, to hang our hats on for this particular season, at least.
Carlos saying, I'll bury it deep inside. There's progress. No more Felicio or Denzel. Not that Matt, with some solid perspective, saying beating preseason expectations while enduring all the injuries and COVID, major win. I think I'm with you. I think that all three of us were on the same page as far as preseason expectations. Mm-hmm. Avoid the play-in, get yourself a 5th or 6th seed. If you can somehow get a top 4 in this Eastern Conference, that is wildly exceeding expectations. Yeah. This, even though they're backing into the playoffs and they had an upswing followed by a downswing as opposed to the other way around, I don't care. Expectations met. My expectation was get at least the 6th seed. They did that as of tonight. So if your expectations were beyond that and you're pissed about them losing to the Bucks again tonight and you can't enjoy this because you're all already thinking about, well, they're going to get swept in the first round, I don't know, reevaluate what brings you joy in life, because y'all know me. Some of you know me as a pessimist. Some of you know me as a realist. I have not had a lot to be happy about as a Bulls fan for the last 5 years. This, I am not going to skip out on being happy about this. Like that Dave said, it's not just that this team had missed the playoffs for the last 5 years. They did it while being the laughing stock of the NBA, all right? Baby steps. Mm-hmm. What do you think? They were going to go from that to a championship contender in one season? That's laughably stupid. And any of you pissed because that's not what we have right now? are dumb and get out of here. I don't want to hear that tonight.
Not tonight. And it feels so good to see you so happy. This is my joy over here, seeing this man so happy.
Can't nothing bring me down until tomorrow morning, baby.
Oh, it's like the Star Wars Emperor in reverse. That's how I feel right now. When Peck is in his happiness, I'm good. Yes. I'm so happy for him right now. But that's what it is, man. And it's funny because the Bulls did both the things that I said I was like, look, this is a team that will get a 6 seed. I was like, if everything goes right and everything just plays out to perfection, I was like, oh, this is a top 3 seed. I was like, if everything just goes right. You saw both of those things. You saw everything. You saw the perfect things happening, everything falling the Bulls' way early on in that first half of the season. And then the second half of the season, reality caught up to them. They all had to start playing these elite teams. Injuries started kicking them in the face. All these things started happening. They started having to learn, like, oh, snap. Maybe we should learn how to beat, a trap defense. Oh, snap. Maybe we should learn how to beat a zone. Like, those things started kicking in. Then they back into the playoffs. I don't know why any of y'all sad about this, because I promise, you know who would love to back into the playoffs? The Cleveland Cavaliers. They would love it.
The Los Angeles Lakers.
They'd enjoy that. They'd enjoy a back into the playoffs, all right? Back in, man. The Bulls weren't nowhere in. Like, I'm sorry, maybe because I just remember where we were. I remember those seasons so vividly. They just stick in my brain so much. I remember Zach running into Denzel running into Zach, while he's trying to shoot a 3 to win the game. I remember Felicio forgetting he's supposed to be on the floor. Like, I remember these things. I mean, we were starting 2 Samsons. We were starting 2 Samsons. Like, I remember this stuff. And so I'm not supposed to be happy about this? Now, y'all bugging. I'm happy we're in the playoffs. We are in the dance. There will be playoff basketball at the UC. We have never seen that in our friendship. Mark, I haven't seen that since I've known you. Like, this has not happened. So now I get to see a whole different thing now with some people I like and respect at the same time. Bring it on. Bring that on to me, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Yeah. And look further to that, like, at least for me as well, like, I think I started podcasting maybe 2016, just after like the 3 Alphas era got started. I hated that team. I didn't like that team at all.
Yes, you did.
That's why we're besties, Mark.
I hated that team. And then immediately from there, the Bulls went into a 4-year rebuild, which I liked players on that team or those teams, but I didn't necessarily like any of those teams. This is the first time in 4 or 5 years where I've actually enjoyed watching Bulls basketball. But more to the point, the Bulls are in the playoffs now based on the work that they did in the first half of the season, where we got the glimpse of them being a top 10 team in terms of offense and defense. They were a legitimate, number 1 team in the East. And the funny thing is, like, they've had a really bad slump here towards the end of the season, but they're still only a few games removed from the top teams in the East, which I know we can point to the record against these teams. And yes, it's bad. And I understand why people wanted to, why they get annoyed about that. But I suppose the point I'm making is, like, had they even just gone 500 to close the season, despite everything that has gone wrong, they still could have been like a top 4 seed, even maybe a number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And they were able to do that, or potentially be able to do that, based on the amount of work that they put in that first half of the season. So I understand why people want to focus on the negatives, but at the same time, there's so much good to come from this season. We've got a glimpse of this team being a real team. It's not like they're just being a 500 team all season or have just scraped by to get to 45 wins. Yes, the last couple months have been, they've been sucky, let's say that. But the first 40-odd games were so damn good. And we have to, I guess, hang our hat on that, because that is the main takeaway from this season. I'm not expecting much from the playoffs now, based on how they've been playing, but how they played their first 40-odd games, that is reason enough to feel like maybe that can continue into next season.
I love that.
Yes.
You know what else I love?
What's that?
You know another reason why I'm happy right now tonight?
Why are you happy?
Because I made money on Pointsbet, y'all.
Boom!
My parlay didn't hit.
Oh.
But I did make a different bet
Uh-oh.
about a certain score tonight, and it hit, and I made some money. If you got to watch the Bulls lose, at least make some money doing it, y'all. And you can do that.
Put that on the T-shirt.
You can do that on PointsBet, y'all. We've been telling you about it for a while now. Sign up. All of you in Illinois, you can do it real easy on your phone. The whole process, start to finish, sign up on your phone. When you do, use promo code CHGO when you're signing up, and you will get those 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. But not only that, if you make a $50 more first-time deposit, you will get free membership to CHGO, which unlocks all kinds of our exclusive online content, all of our written content covering the Bulls. Our guy, Will Gottlieb. Mark K here has been writing columns for us once or twice a week. I'm putting out the pecking order every week. Plus, if you are a Chicago fan across the board, everybody else here on our staff with their great insider access and their journalism, get all that content with our CHGO membership. And you can do that by signing up at Pointsbet. That's 2,000 free bets, a free CHGO membership, plus that free CHGO shirt from the locker, the merch locker. Big Dave tweets are flying out. People are loving it.
Those shirts are beautiful.
Still waiting for mine. Can't wait.
Still waiting.
If you have any questions, you can email us, pointsbet@allchgo.com, and we will help you out. Your home for live in-play betting just got even better. The same game NBA parlay. For the first time ever, you can build the perfect live NBA same game parlay only with PointsBet. Combine your favorite bets anytime during the game. Want more? You can also boost that live same game parlay. Watch live, parlay live, boost live with PointsBet. Once the game starts, don't just bet. What do you do, Mark?
You live your bet life.
Hey! Nothing's bringing me down tonight. Nothing. God, I'm so happy.
Oh, that felt nice. Joey, no sound effect for him?
We can't do the sound effects on StreamYard. I was going to add one again.
Oh, you going to ad-lib one?
But yeah, if you end up throwing it to me, I would make it work. We'd figure it out.
That's right. You're right about that. Next time I'll throw it better. I'll give you a better pass. That's on me.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something right now, though. I saw my man Matt Peck today. But what I've seen him do the past couple of days, eating a salad. That man is trying to take care of himself. I know he's drinking an old style right now, but forget that. He was eating a salad.
This is salad in a can, Dave.
He was eating a salad. All right. He's trying to do better about himself. But you know what he was missing? He was missing 75 high quality vitamins and minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. He can only get that from where? The Athletic Greens, y'all. It helps you start your day right. It's a special blend of ingredients support your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and your aging. All the things Matt Peck is trying to do. Now, another thing Matt Peck likes to do, because he's just talking about it at PointsBet, money. He enjoys money. He enjoys making it. He don't want to spend it. Mark K neither. They don't want to spend that money. So they're thinking to themselves, well, this must cost a lot. This sounds awesome. 75 vitamins in there. This must cost a lot of money. It costs less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than that cold brew habit that you got. Oh, yeah, I see you. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself. You are investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance, y'all. All right? I know you want some. And to make it even easier for you to get it, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. With your first purchase, all you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bulls. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bulls to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Athletic Greens. Scoop it, dump it, shake it, drink it, feel it. I just made that up, Mark K.
You were too good at this, man. You were too good. You need to stop ads.
Speaking of people who are too good at things, you know what Patrick Williams is too good at?
What is that?
Making me fall in love with him all over again. Mark K, your thoughts on the game for Patrick Williams tonight? My man.
This is interesting. I got a few people in the comments here giving me crap about being a Patrick Williams hater. I'm not a hater, people. I'm not a hater. I just have expectations, and my expectations were met tonight. He played good. He had a couple bad possessions, but by and large, he had a good game. Like 18 points, 6 rebounds. There was a play in the first half where he grabbed an offensive rebound, created an extra possession for the Bulls. Almost turned it over, but got the ball back. And in getting the ball back, I thought he was going to pass it back off to a teammate or something like that. But he actually took the ball on. He went into a dribble drive move and stepped into a mid-range jumper and sank it. So Pat is slowly but surely looking more comfortable, I suppose. And the last 3 or 4 games, since the Wizards game, really, which I think was this time last week, if I'm not mistaken, he has been, markedly different. And it's all starting from a rebounding perspective. That's where I know how, Pat's engaged. Like the things that I look at when Pat's in the game, what is he doing rebounding? What is he doing steals block wise? That to me indicates how engaged he is in a game. That to me shows how, how much of it, just how engaged he's in the game, how active he's being in the game, and those sorts of things. So I don't really care what he does offensively, because I think it's just unfair to expect a second-year dude who's missed most of the season basically playing with a completely new team for him. Like, he's been watching this team on the sidelines. He's still learning how to play with these guys. I think we should remember that aspect of the game. But yeah, I think defensively, what he's done, there's a couple of things I'd like to see him improve on, but by and large, last 4 games has been positive. So I've been happy with Pat since the Wizards game, really.
Big Dave?
Yeah, I'm so glad he said that about the rebound, because, that's what I've been harping on about him is Patrick Williams and his rebounding. It's what I wanted to see from him, a guy with that kind of size and, of course, those kind of thighs that Will Gottlieb loves. You got to be able to get up and grab those rebounds. And I think Mark hit it right on the head. It definitely shows you how engaged you are, because, again, getting rebounds is an effort thing. So if you're showing somebody that effort there, that means you're going to show it on the other end of the floor. You're going to show it in your offense as well. But Mark, you talked about his shooting. I wanted to ask you about that, because it seems like he's in a nice rhythm shooting. I haven't seen him take a shot that's been just out of pocket or has just been just reckless or anything like that. Everything seems to be within the flow. The only thing I've seen him do differently that I didn't like tonight offensively was he passed up a 3-point shot that kind of broke the rhythm of the ball movement that was going on the floor for the Bulls, and they ended up giving a 3-pointer up on the other end because he didn't take that 3-point shot. But I just chalk that up to him still getting things together, as you kind of stated. So I wanted to ask you that, though. Has it surprised? I know you're not expecting it in his offense, but has it surprised you about how efficient he's been offensively these past few games?
Not necessarily, because he's taking the right shots. He's taking, if we're being frank, he's taking basic shots, like minimum expectation shots, like corner threes, finishing around the basket when he has that opportunity to do so. It's not like he's doing anything out there where he's, breaking guys off the dribble, going into ISO mode, and he's being efficient in that sense. Like, that would really be impressive. But I guess to that point, like, he's taking shots at this point. Like, the first 5 games when he came back, or at least after his first game back, he had that 5-game stretch where he wasn't even taking any shots, and he was turning down those looks where he was in the corner, or he was, could have been cutting, but wasn't cutting because he was standing stationary in the corner, whatever it may be. Like, those are the things that can't happen, and that's when I get annoyed at Patrick Williams. But when he does the minimum things, or the baseline expectations on offense, which is like cutting off ball like Javonte does, or just when you get that opportunity to take a corner 3, take it. Like, he has been doing that the last 4 games. So again, like, taking corner 3s, cutting off ball, getting in transition, like, they're the minimum expectations. And Pat's been doing that. So whether it comes efficiently or not, I don't really care at this point. I just want to see him take those shots, because they're the shots he has to take.
Jared in the comments pointing out that P-Dub's plus minus tonight was a 0 in 31 minutes of play. The Bulls lost the other 17 minutes by 21 points. So there's that. Plus minus can sometimes be a finicky stat, but I think you can see all of the evidence of P. Will putting his stamp on these games recently in this stretch. And, Mark, you just said that P-Dub isn't necessarily, doing above and beyond anything on the offensive end yet, as far as where he's getting his looks, but just taking open ones. But I did see that you clipped one video that you tweeted out earlier in tonight's game when he had kind of chased down a long loose ball offensive rebound, and then used that opportunity to just kind of dribble in, and whoever it was, I can't remember who picked him up, as P-Dub just kind of crossed past the 3-point line to the top of the key, and then just rise and fire, and he knocked it down confidently. Even that, to me, is evidence of Patrick starting to just regain some confidence of, at times, what we saw his rookie year of not just being a catch and shoot threat or a guy who can crash the glass and occasionally get a layup or a dunk off of that, but has some tools in his offensive bag that will hopefully continue to be developed, and just simple stuff like that, where he can find times off the dribble to create his own shot and knock it down.
Yeah, that was the one play where I was like, oh, that was interesting. That's nice to see, because that was a little bit different than just taking your basic shots. Which game was it where he had the 10 points and 12 rebounds last week at some stage? I can't remember the opponent.
I think that was the win over the Clippers, right?
Actually, you're right.
It was. But like the shots he made there was that nice massive dunk, but he cut off ball there. He had the other dunk where he was cutting off ball, and his other 2 baskets in that game were corner 3s. So like, when I say minimum expectations, or the base expectation from him from an offensive standpoint, like, that game was that, where he was 4 of 4 from the field. Tonight, like, what I really like from Patrick Williams, and this is something that, I've been banging on about all year is the Bulls' 3-point attempt rate is really anemic. It's bad. They need guys to shoot threes, particularly their role guys. And like Pat had 4 threes tonight, four attempted threes. He made 2 of them. And based on his 9 field goal attempts, like if he's going around 50% in the sense that half of his shots are coming from the 3-point line, I like that ratio. So I want to see that continue as well. Like if Pat's getting 4 shots, 8 shots, 10 shots, whatever it may be, I want to see half of those attempts be threes, because we know DeMar is going to be guarded up heavily in the playoffs. We know the same is going to be saying is going to be true for Zach as well. So someone needs to stop like catching the ball and not shooting. Someone needs to get up there and rise confidently. And Pat to take 4 threes tonight, I thought was probably the most encouraging element of his offensive game, to be honest with you.
I got 2 questions for you on this one, Mark. One, have you seen enough to want Patrick Williams as the starter going forward? Like in the playoffs, I mean, not these last few games. And the second part of my question is, what is your next level of expectations for Patrick Williams?
Look, as far as it goes from the starting point of view, like to me, so much of that depends on how healthy Caruso is. Like he's looked bad since coming back, and he's clearly carrying a back injury. I don't know if the wrist is still bothering him. I assume it is. But he's not going to the playoffs healthy. So should he be starting, and should be Pat, be in his place, or that's a question for Billy. Same thing with Io. Like Io's had games where he's looked really bad, but then tonight he's had moments where he looked really good. So it's an interesting one. I think if Pat, over the next 3 to 4 games continues to play this way, then he's probably earned himself back into the starting unit. What's going to be whenever Zach comes back, if Zach comes back tomorrow against the Celtics, that's going to be an interesting test case to really test this, Dave, to see, when Zach gets back into the lineup, who's coming out? Is it Pat going back to the bench, or is it Caruso and Io? Or Io, I suppose. So that's going to be interesting for me. I don't really care who starts, to be honest with you. I care about who closes. And at this point, Billy seemingly he wants to close with Pat. He's giving the every opportunity for that to be the case. So I don't care who starts so long as who closes. And if Pat's good enough to close, then that's all that really matters. In terms of expectations, I mean, look, I don't have expectations for Patrick Williams to be a star. Like that's not my expectations for this guy. I haven't seen enough glimpses offensively to suggest that that's who he's going to be. But can he be a star role guy? That's who I hope he can be as of next season, or at least show signs that going into next season and beyond, that next to a center like Vooch or whoever may be center next season, that this guy can get in there and help and block block help side like he did yesterday, the last game rather, where he had those two very nice blocks. Like those are the things that I need to see. The rebounding, that's what I want to see. The blocks and steals. If you can add a little bit of playmaking in the pick and roll, that would be interesting. So to me, I'm not expecting anything from an offensive standpoint, because I don't think Pat necessarily has that within his game just yet. I'm not confident it will be there going forward, but I don't think it needs to be there for him to be a super effective player. So my expectation is for Pat to have a big off season and to come into next season being just a hyper role player. And if the Bulls can get that version of Patrick Williams next season from the 4th spot, I think that'll go a long way in making sure they are one of the top 4 teams in the East next season.
You mentioned the fact that Caruso doesn't look right, and I 100% agree with you, Mark. I think that Caruso is playing at maybe 60% right now, between the fact that his back is clearly bothering him. Sure. Some of these games recently, I didn't notice it as much tonight, but the game Saturday against Miami, the game Thursday against the Clippers, like he's running up and down the court like a guy holding in a bathroom that he desperately needs, in a bathroom. He was running up and down the NBA floor with that kind of run where you can't really run, but you know why you're running.
I've never heard that before in my life. Holding in a bathroom.
Yeah.
That is okay. You ever heard that, Joey? I've never heard that. Okay, all right.
He's holding in a bathroom.
Holding in the bathroom.
And also, Mark, I'm with you in that I think the wrist is still not all the way there. You saw tonight he went 0 of 6 overall, 0 of 5 from downtown. I believe that's now 2 of 16, 2 of 15 for Caruso behind the 3-point line over his last 3 or 4 games. Mm-hmm. Which leads us to the bigger question of, and maybe we'll get word from this from Mr. Gottlieb when he joins us in a little bit, and if they talked about it post game or not. Now that they know that they've clinched, 6th seed at least is yours. These last 3 games, Boston, Charlotte, Minnesota, grand scheme of things, don't mean jack. Do you sit Alex Caruso in these games? Do you continue to sit Zach LaVine and that aggravating knee? Do you even say, hey, DeMar, those 40 points in 3 quarters sure were cool. Have a night. Or do you maybe look the other way and say this team just lost again by 20 and would sure as hell love to get some kind of positive momentum coming into whatever that first round playoff series is? What do you think?
You rest everybody. I want everybody to sit down and get a rest, man. Listen, this team has been laboring. They've been through a lot this year, man. And you're starting to see it this now. You know what I mean? Guys like DeMar DeRozan, even though he had the 40 points in 3 quarters, do you not remember that 50-point game when he was laying on the ground, holding his side just in ridiculous amounts of pain?
Yeah.
Just because he's tough doesn't mean he doesn't need rest. Doesn't mean he's not a human being. All right. The man needs a rest. Okay. Vooch, he's been solid ever since he came back, from his early season, the sickness and all that. You can just pencil him in every time. You know what I'm saying? Write it in pen. He's going to be in the starting lineup. He needs a rest. He is a human being, 7 foot tall, running up and down the floor and getting done up on defense. And it's not his fault, but getting done up on defense like that. He needs a rest. You need to rest these guys, man. The young guys, put them out there. Let them continue to grow. Let them continue to, gain experience and do things like that. But your veterans like Zach, all the things you guys mentioned about Caruso, his back and his wrist, my neck and my back. you need those things, man. Like those things need to happen for those kind of veteran players. Zach LaVine, I mean, come on now. Of course, Matt wanted to sit him down a month ago. He didn't want him to play the All-Star game like a month ago. He needs a rest. He's 26, but my guy, his NBA body is like 30. All right. He needs a rest, man. So I don't care if I see any of them. You know what I mean? They can all just relax. You get this week and you get all the next week. Take all the time you need because you're going to go into the playoffs. And for a few of those guys, like Zach LaVine and a couple others, it's their first time there. Right. I would like them at their highest level when they're playing for their very first time.
Plus, you could get 28 minutes and 8 3-point shots from your boy, Matty
Legend. Oh, the legend!
But he couldn't even get in tonight. He had some kind of injury.
They put something in his shoe. Man. They didn't want him out there.
Matty Legend, how do you hurt yourself when you ain't playing a single second?
Did you not see him jump roping? The jump rope is nice, man. The form is special. It's like watching Rocky out there, man.
Mark, what side do you come down on this argument or just hypothetical question of rest versus trying to build some momentum coming into your playoff series?
I mean, like it's 3 games to build momentum. It's not like there's a whole lot of time to do so. So to me, there's just virtually no upside in trying to keep this team together, given that they just clinched today. So like, you've got Caruso who's limping into the postseason. Zach missed today because of his knee. DeMar has a groin issue. Like, we shouldn't forget that. This is the most minutes DeMar has played per game, like, since 8 years ago. Like, 2014, he was averaging, like, 38 minutes a game. He's up to almost 37 minutes this season for the Bulls. So, like, he definitely needs a break. So, I don't know. Like, to me, there's no benefit in playing these guys at this point. We've locked up the playoff seed. Whether it's 5 or 6, who really gives a crap? You can't necessarily control who you're playing anyway. So there is no advantage to continuously play these guys. Try to get them some sort of a break. I mean, the playoffs start next week at some point anyway. So it's not like they're getting a huge break, but give Caruso a break at least, Zach as well, and then I would still be resting DeMar. Like, there's nothing more for DeMar to prove at this point. He has shown us what he is. Let's get into the postseason with DeMar and Zach both as healthy as possible because the Bulls have 0 chance without them. So let's make sure that they're as healthy as possible.
I'm with you guys. Rest them. Rest them. Zach, Alex, DeMar, battling injuries, exhausted. Yeah. If you want to give yourself a puncher's chance in whatever that first round opponent is that you draw, you can't do it if DeMar, Zach, and Caruso are all dragging.
Come on. It's true, man. And I mean, like I keep saying, like, this is new for a lot of these guys on this team, man. It's a lot of their first time evers, you know what I'm saying, being in this situation. Hell, it was a lot of their first time evers playing meaningful games this late in the season. You know what I'm saying? Zach LaVine's first 4-game winning streak happened this season. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all brand new. So, yes, I want you to go into your first time ever with as much energy, you know what I'm saying, as healthy as you possibly can be. Because, like Mark said, there's really not much time for you to get anything else acclimated or gain any more chemistry in 3 games or anything like that. No, it's Marco hours now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time for him to do his thing. It's Matty Legend time. You know what I'm saying? It's those guys get out.
Rob said Marco's ready to go.
You feel me? It's his time. This is the time. Quinn Cook, Quinn Cook.
Let Marco play point.
You know what I mean?
I don't freaking care.
What was the lineup we had? What was like Tony Bradley at the
Bradley's
3.
playing the wing for sure.
Bradley at the 3. Tristan at the 2. You know what I'm saying? Let Marco run point. You know, Quinn Cook at the 4. You know, and Matty Legend at the 5. That's just starting 5. Let's run all day.
Oh, we're getting Quinn Cook, not even Tyler Cook?
No.
It's got to be Quinn Cook.
Not even Tyler Cook. Give me Quinn Cook.
Dude, give me Quinn Snyder. I don't freaking care.
Give me Quinn Butler. like, put them all out there, man. It doesn't matter, dog. We in the playoffs. It don't matter. Let's do it.
Mark, any preference right now? I know we said obviously the Bulls can't control their destiny as far as who they face. The Bulls may end up 5th. They'll probably at this point end up 6th. Boston, Philly, Milwaukee. It looks like Miami has a decent hold on the 1 seed. So assuming the Bulls are either 6 or 5 and they're playing 3 or 4, based on what we've seen, Bulls 0-4 against Philly, 0-4 against Milwaukee. Right now, 1-1 against Boston with 1-1 against Boston, 1-2 against Boston.
One
with one more to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, to me, the way that I'm thinking about it is like, which is going to be the less shit of an outcome? That's the best way I can describe it. Like, what's the best chance the Bulls have to get this to a 5 or 6 game series? Like, I still, like, part of me wants to say the Sixers because James Harden and Doc, like, I can't trust those guys in the playoffs. They've got no wing defense at all. Like, this is a Bulls team predicated about their wing scorers. So in that sense, like, you can talk yourself into it, but then Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. They have no answer for that. So I still think the Sixers is a bad matchup. They haven't beaten the Bucks at all this season. There is no answer for Giannis. Brook Lopez is back. And, you know, if the Bulls struggle against the Embiid and those, you know, massive front courts, there's no reason to expect they have any chance against the Bucks. That leaves the Celtics. I don't feel good about the Celtics either because they've been one of the 2 or 3 best teams in basketball since the turn of the year. Being without Robert Williams, like that's a loss for them. So I would probably take the Celtics, but I would do so begrudgingly, knowing that you know, the Sixers and the Bucks are just a terrible matchup. But I think no matter whoever they play, it's not going to be a good outcome for the Bulls. But I would hazard a guess that maybe they could hang a little longer with the Celtics than maybe the Bucks or the Sixers. So yeah, to me, I'm taking the less. You know, I think the Celtics have the best chance of giving the Bulls at least a chance to take this into 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
I'm with him.
Seeing people in the comments, a couple people saying we want Boston. Someone saying, "Oh, I want no part of Embiid." yeah. I hear all of that. I mean, like
don't
Mark
want
said,
any of Giannis either.
0 parts.
Nope.
It's like Mark's hit it on the head. Like, there is no good matchup. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want? A gunshot or a stab wound? Like, what do you want? You know what I mean?
Like, you know, a couple months ago, we were thinking, or even a month and a half ago, we were thinking, oh, if we could somehow end up with like Cleveland or Charlotte in the first round, that'd be great, right? Well, that ain't happening.
Look, another thing, like I lean towards Boston, but at the same time, like, and I lean to Boston because they don't have Giannis, they don't have Embiid, but at the same time, like, they have the best perimeter defense in the NBA. And I just said before, like, the Bulls' offense is predicated about their wing scorers, Levine and DeRozan. Like, in that sense, Boston are pretty damn well set up to take those 2 guys out, probably more so than the Bucks and the Sixers. So you can talk yourself into it any which way. Like, I could literally talk myself into a conversation where the Celtics are actually the worst matchup for the Bulls. So it's a matter of perspective. I think, you know, the way I'm looking at it now, just from a big standpoint, then the Celtics, you know, just give the Bulls the best advantage to hang from that point. But that take could easily look bad in a week or 2 whereby, you know, Zach and DeMar are getting locked up by Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Then you got behind those dudes, you got Al Horford and Daniel Tice. Like that every player that's in the Celtics rotation is a plus defensive player. So maybe careful what you wish for.
I like this comment right here. I don't care. Bring them all on. We got Debo. That's my mindset today. Talk to me next week. It might be different, but that's my mindset today. I feel you.
Dude had 40 3/4.
40 3/4 ain't been an answer for him either, man. I'm just saying, he's been awesome. He's been incredible. Rest him.
He's been pretty good. Big Dave, hit him one more time with a Pointsbet reminder, would you please?
Oh, the playoff Pointsbet. It's my first time with the playoffs. Rid of the ad. That's all right, man. If you enjoy CHGO, one way to help us to continue to grow, I love the Brian, is to download the Pointsbet app and use that code CHGO when you sign up. Because not only are you going to get those 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000, but if you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of that awesome web content, and you will get a free t-shirt of your choice from that CHGO locker. And I know you're seeing them online. They look amazing. Joey, where's yours? Do you have your CHGO shirt?
Nope. Still waiting. Honestly, I thought they were getting shipped to the office before Matt started commenting about how he kept going to the lobby.
Maybe they are.
I never gave anybody my address.
I'm pretty sure I gave my address.
I don't remember giving mine either.
I thought we just wrote our names in those.
We just gave our which shirt we wanted and our shirt size.
That's correct.
Right.
So they should all be coming here.
I'm assuming that they're coming here.
Yeah, they should be coming here.
All right. Yeah.
I'm impatient.
Then we'll really, I didn't know that about you. No, that's amazing. And for the people who live here in Illinois, you can download that PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. You'll be signing up with the fastest sports book, easier than ever, so you can start living your bet life. That was Will Gottlieb in seconds. So what are you waiting for, ladies and gentlemen? Because once that game starts, Matt Peck, what do you do? Because you don't just bet.
No, I'm pretty sure you live your bet life.
I think you're correct, and you do it with the PointsBet app. Joey, give me a live one.
What the hell are you waiting for?
Oh!
I love it.
He broke out the vocals.
I love it.
I would never have done that if Big Dave does not sing around the office as often as he does.
Oh, it's infectious, isn't it? Not as infectious as the Pitbull playoff song, but
oh my god,
which I was bumping earlier.
Was bumping hard.
As soon as that Cavs Magic score went final, me and Pitbull had a moment, y'all.
Marquez, it was special. It was special.
Playoffs.
Marquez.
Playoffs.
I need help, Mark.
Also, before we move on, it is Tuesday, which means I got to give the people the pick of the week.
Oh, you got to.
PointsBet.
You got to.
So I'm looking at the scores from what happened tonight. Nets beat the Rockets.
Okay.
Hawks lost to the Raptors.
Okay.
What that means is that now Brooklyn has, via tiebreaker, as of tonight, for the moment, overtaken Atlanta for the 8th spot in that East play-in, and Atlanta has slid to 9.
Okay.
You know that the Hawks don't want to have that risk of one and done. They want to get one of those 7 or 8 spots. The Hawks play again tomorrow night, and they play the lowly, already dead for the season Washington Wizards. Even though it is the second night of a back-to-back, give me the Hawks, and I'll even say not just the money line, but whatever the spread is, give me the Hawks side of that spread. Because I have faith that Trey and those guys are going to mop the floor with the Wizards and get themselves back into 7 and 8 versus sitting at 9 right now. There's your PointsBet pick of the week.
Feels good to say that stuff. Because now,
and guess what?
Sit back.
All of that I just talked about, not the Bulls' problem.
Not our problem, baby.
Enjoy it.
Oh! Me and this guy. That is scary, spooky.
Where is Will? We need Will and Mark to have a moment where they can high five each other through the computer.
Through the computer. That's right, man. Don't take their moments away from them.
While we're waiting for Will, let's hit this because I don't want it to get lost, in the mix.
Okay.
We're asking about it.
Oh, here we go.
There's a lot of speculation now. Before we even start the show, people are waiting in the comments like, is it an 8-7 tonight? Is it a 7-4?
Well, let me ask Marquez. Marquez, what do you think Peck's anger meter level is tonight?
-3.
Oh, all right. Let's calculate it. It's coming. Oh, the hype meter. He is way past here.
So it says hype meter. Make sure you read it. It says hype.
Right.
I got you. It's hype meter.
That's a hype meter, and it's at 11, folks.
Yeah.
So, Mark, when you said -3, did you mean that, like, on the anger meter it was a -3, meaning I'm actually happy by 3?
No. See, I didn't read it. I just saw the what's the name, the odometer there, and I thought, all right, this is the anger meter, not the happy meter or the hype meter. So that's my bad. It's definitely based on what I've seen and based on what's been produced on this podcast before. This is an 11, maybe a 12. A 12.
Matt, how correct is this?
I mean, y'all, we just lost by 21, and I haven't been this happy in a long time. You saw me at pregame. Maybe some of you saw me in pregame.
I did.
I was an emotional wreck.
He was.
I was dark. I was disturbed. I was in a bad place because we were just coming into pregame on the heels of the Lonzo Ball news.
Yep.
But as Big Dave may have told you from time to time, my emotional swings when it comes to this year Bulls team can be severe.
Matt was suggesting that we change it to the depression meter during pregame. That's what he said.
It's true. Today I was thinking it's not the anger meter, it's the depression meter after the Lonzo news.
Oh man!
And assuming we were going to lose by 20 tonight.
Oh man!
I dealt with all of that, and here I am. No, hype and happy at 11.
Well, you got your 20-point loss though.
I sure did, I made money off of it.
Yes, that's called winning. That's called winning. It just feels good, man. It's been such a long time, man. And for a team, and you want it for this team and these kind of players. So the Mark said, man, and he's right. There's a lot of players and a lot of things to love, like certain things, but you love this team, though. You know what I'm saying? Because they play, I hate saying this phrase, but I'm going to use it. They play the right way. Oh, I felt dirty saying that. Oh, I hate that so much, but it's true. Oh, snap!
Oh,
There he is! That's his music, ladies and gentlemen. The GOAT is in the building.
Oh,
Millennium Gottlieb. Look at him. Look at the hair. It is shining, baby. Oh,
you guys really know how to hype me up.
yes, sir.
I don't know if I deserve it.
Oh, Gottlieb at Will Gottlieb on Twitter in the building.
Yes.
And by building, we mean he's at the Madhouse, folks.
Yes, he is.
Will,
our
welcome
building.
in. How are you? We are ecstatic. How are you?
Are you? I feel like I'm not sure where on the anger meter you would end up today. Obviously, a pretty
just
ugly
established
loss,
it.
but
I'm at 11 on the hype meter.
Just
The Bulls are going to the playoffs, Will.
Oh, the hype meter. This is new.
To the playoffs.
Hype, Will. Hype, bro. Hype.
This is new. Hype meter. I love it.
So
yeah,
how
we're headed to the playoffs.
yes. This is a good thing, Will.
What was the vibe of Billy and the players during their podium chats? I mean, obviously a good news, bad news night for them. They lose to a top East team by a wide margin again tonight, but they find out essentially at halftime that they've locked themselves a playoff spot.
Look at all these people in the comments saying hi to me. That's so flattering. Hi, guys.
Dude, people are waiting for that late night Gottlieb appearance.
The people are into the Gottlieb appearance. I mean, it was kind of like any other loss. Like they made the playoffs. It happened, but they got smoked by a top team in the East again. And, it's hard to really be super excited after that. Like tomorrow, maybe they'll be a little bit happier heading into the Celtics game. Another opportunity to try to beat one of these top teams in the East. And maybe after they kind of wash this loss out of their mouth, they can take some enjoyment, but definitely no champagne bottles in the locker room as far as I know.
Well, I can tell you one thing, Will. We celebrated for them. We popped those bottles for them.
Somebody needed to do it.
Hey, man, it's been a long time. It's been a while. So what players were at the podium tonight?
Yeah, today it was Billy and then DeMar and Vooch. And DeMar, level-headed as usual, coming in just saying, like, we'll figure it out. A lot of missed shots. And that's kind of been like the sentiment this whole time. It's like, once we figure it out, once we stop missing shots, we'll be fine. And, for me, I don't want to like bring down the tenor of this show too much because I know you guys are excited. And I can see a little devious grin on Mark's face that indicates to me that he's on the same page here. But I like how many times can you make that excuse? Like that shots aren't falling. It's been like 25 games. So it's great that they made it. And like on the whole, this season has been a total success, but trending in, I think, a little bit of a scary direction. And I think, Vucevic talked, DeMar talked, Billy talked, all of those guys kind of seem like they know that.
Marquette, you can add on because I know you want to, man.
He's ready.
Bro.
No, to be honest with you, I wasn't even listening to Will. I was just too lost in his eyes there, that handsome son. No, but I mean, look, I'm of two minds. Like, it really depends on my mood. Like coming into this podcast, I was going to be the negative douchebag, but then you guys hyped me up. I got excited about it again, and I feel good. I don't want to be the negative. I don't want to be the negative guy when Matt's so happy. So I don't know. It's like I said.
What does that say about you?
But this is just a matter of perspective. And this is going to be the annoying thing postseason when the takes come flying. If the Bulls lose in the first round, they go out in 4 or 5. People will be focusing on that and then establishing the success of the season based on a 4 or 5 game sample in the playoffs, ignoring the first 30-odd games or putting too much attention on the last 30-odd games and all that sort of stuff, where the answer really is somewhere in the middle. It's not sexy. It's not interesting to talk about, but it's a season of many, many variations. Like, we've gone through, how many seasons have we gone through in this one particular season? Like, there's been so many developments that have changed the course of this season for this Bulls team, to the point where trying to sum up a season in one line or one word, whether it's a failure or success, is kind of pointless to me. But I'm sure that'll be the takeaway by some talking heads towards the back end of the season, and hopefully on this show we won't be joining that, but I'm sure that won't be the case. But for today, I'm happy. The GOAT is
Mark,
here.
you
guys are happy. I'm happy.
Mark, we should do a segment called Lukewarm Takes with Mark and Will, because I totally agree with that. Like, the truth is in the middle. I love the way you put that. They were never as hot of a shooting team as they were in the first half, but they're also not, on these 2 for 24 stretches like they are right now. It will even out, and you go from one extreme to the other, and it's frustrating. And it's a great time to make, grand proclamations about the state of the union. And that's what it's all about, to be a fan of a team. So I get it. I wish that we were on the opposite end, where it was like trending in the right direction heading into the playoffs. But like I said, I do think that this season has been a success. And if you look at it on the whole, and you consider the fact that this is the first time they're heading to the playoffs since Jimmy Butler and D Wade and Rondo were all sharing a locker room. And it's just been a great season.
No, I don't know if I can buy this, the truth is in the middle stuff, you guys. I think instead what we should have been doing tonight is creating, rage-infused poll tweets about, how mad we should be about the Vooch trade. And boy, isn't it a shame to watch Wendell and Wagner Jr. blossom over there in Orlando. I mean, that's where the focus should be tonight.
Joey, will you please
aren't we
see Red Fred counter? I am telling you.
Yes. See Red Fred counter.
Where is this? It needs to happen. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please, Will.
I was just gonna say, like, aren't we done with the tankathon? Like, I feel like we're over that. I'm over it.
I've been over it.
Oh,
and I also would like to say, I like the fact that Marquez and I just had that moment that you and I had with the enjoy it, because that's exactly what I talked about in the pregame, was about the truth being in the middle with this team. Like, they're not going to be this hot. Certain play. I was speaking specifically about Kobe White.
Right.
I was like, he's not going to be this hot like he was in the first half. And he's not going to be, like you meant, 2 for 24, from the 3-point line, shooting 8% from 3. He's not that either. It's in the middle is where the truth lies with a lot of these players, and definitely with a lot of this team, man. So, yeah, we just had a moment. We had our moment, man, and I like it.
Had a moment.
And I like it.
Will, before you hopped on with us, we were kind of giving our takes on rest versus trying to, as much as you can, right the ship, or at least get one quality win in these final 3 before going into that playoff series, so you maybe have some kind of confidence boost, momentum, whatever you want to call it. Or do you just say, Zach, DeMar, Alex, anyone else who's ailing, shut it down? Was that question discussed in postgame? And if so, what do people have to say?
Yeah, in very Billy fashion, he was asked that question and didn't really give a real response to it. Basically, if anybody needs to sit out, like, they're locked in. The difference between 5 and 6 is negligible. If somebody's hurt and they need a rest, we'll let them rest. But we don't want that to come at the expense of, like, continuing to get better and building on good momentum. For me, Caruso should probably, like, sit the rest of the way. I think he is just not totally right. I would even consider sitting Zach the rest of the way and just giving him basically 2 full weeks off heading into the playoffs. Like, what you're getting from those guys, and the games for the rest of the way aren't super important. DeMar was asked, and he was like, I don't take days off. I'm not doing it. I don't need it. Which is great.
DeMar?
That dude has carried such a heavy load this year. It's kind of unbelievable to think about the minutes that he's played, the usage, the offensive burden, like taking so many shots, being the entire offense, and just barely missing any games. He's been just insane. And everybody else is kind of like either healthy or still needs some work. Like you think about Patrick Williams, I think he needs reps. Vooch, I kind of go back and forth on that in terms of like, does he just need like a week or two off to try to like reset his mind so he can start shooting the ball into the basket?
The cruel part is during pregame, Will, we were talking about how in the month of March, Vooch shot 39% from behind the 3-point line. And his numbers were up across the board. And then, so of course, tonight he's got a classic Vooch 3-for-9 stink party.
I was encouraging Mark to write something about it, and then during the game, he slacked me. He's like, well, maybe you should hold that story for another day.
Well, I mean, that's the annoying thing, because coming into this game, like the last 15 games, Vooch was shooting 52% from the field, 39% from the 3-point line, a nice 18 and 10 from the field. You know, really slotting in nicely as their third guy, and then he has one absolute stinker, and the torches are out. But like I said from the top, it's tough to be a Vooch apologist at this point in time. But you know, we haven't necessarily talked about that too much, and maybe we shouldn't because it was that bad. But yeah,
but Vooch did make Matt happy though tonight. Will, he did make him very, very happy with the hard foul that he gave.
Oh, how can I forget?
Grayson. Yes,
we buried the lead there. I'm surprised that wasn't the first thing that we talked about.
Any comments there post game about?
I'll let you know, but I'm actually curious what your reaction was while you were watching the game. What was like? Dave, give me the play-by-play.
Oh, listen, when you watch this show back, you'll hear I broke it all down like I was John Madden. Rest in peace. I broke it all down for my man Mark K. And Joey, but I will say that
the Cliff Notes version, is that
it was Matt Peck on 20.
Earlier in the game when Grayson Allen got an easy bucket at the rim, I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then Vooch, after an awful shooting night, redeemed himself, and it made me very, very happy.
No, see, Joe, that's tame how he's saying it. When
that's the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I gotta put more emphasis on that, man. He terrified Joey, Jake, and Lawrence when he did it, because they were like, what the hell? Well, except for Joey, he understands what's going on all the time, but Joey's he terrified people. And then at the same time, it was so much joy and love. You missed a Matt Peck dance to a Pitbull song because the Bulls made the playoffs.
Joey,
was so much going on.
Constant videos while Matt is watching games. You're missing out on good content.
I mean, I will say the first part, the part that got me upset when Grayson Allen got to the hoop and barely anybody touched him again. That I think was the first time that some of these other people who aren't you saw full exploding eyeballs.
Yeah.
Angry version of me.
It's why I was the only one laughing.
And I think along with the rage, there is an added level of volume that had not come out before.
I agree.
And I yelled at the TV and was like, I hope my voice didn't just break the TV.
Yeah, I'll say it like the acoustics in this place are awesome. I'll say that, man. My God, they are awesome. He tested all levels of them, Will, and yeah, it was something to see. But yeah, the full play-by-play breakdown definitely happened at the beginning of the show because I wanted Mark K to definitely know what was going on with this young man right here.
Well, the important part that Will, the next time you talk to Vooch when you're at shoot-around or pregame or postgame, just tell him that your friend Matt says thank you. Can you do that for me?
Well, Vooch, so Vooch came up to talk about it, and he was like, I mean, it looked worse than it was. There was nothing intentional about it. I like looking at the replay, it didn't even look as bad as it seemed to in real life. And if anything, like getting pushed by Brook Lopez into him made it appear way worse. So when I saw it live, I thought he like really laid him out. And then Grayson kind of like popped right up like he was, I don't know what he was thinking, but then they called the offensive foul and I thought they were just going the other way. They reviewed it and he was given a tech and Vooch was like, I want to get my money back for that tech. That was not a hard foul.
Go ahead, Joey.
Well, you know, our office is next to another studio. There's a studio across the hallway. So I'm wondering if one of their shows, if we go back and listen, if you can just hear like, yeah, put that motherfucker on the ground. Yeah, Vooch, finally.
I wonder when we will get that knock on the door. Like, hey guys. Like, you know, the not to be a nuisance, right. but I'm your downstairs neighbor, and
this guy's totally insane. Yeah, and it would be warranted.
ZZ, I see your comment. I'm not going to read it. Don't bring any of that negativity here. Yeah, I am excited. The Bulls are playoff bound for the first time in 5 years. Asterisk, first time in 7 years. Because like me and my boy Mark K told you, that 2017, that shit don't count. That was bogus. Playoffs for the first time in 7
Dude,
years.
if Rondo didn't break his thumb, I mean,
say it, Will.
Mute him.
Say it, Will.
Mute him,
Say
Joey.
it, Will.
Mute him, Joey.
Say it. Say it.
Listen. My vets would never let something like that happen.
My
Okay.
God. Dude, Team Rondo in that whole ordeal now and forever. Team Rondo.
Team Rondo.
In that Bulls locker room fight. We got to get out of here. We've got another game tomorrow. I recommend that Billy sit everyone.
Everybody.
We'll come back and we'll have a pregame show for y'all, and we'll talk about what's gonna happen. But in the meantime, the Bulls are playoff bound, y'all. Cheers. For Mark K, follow him on Twitter at MK Hoops. For Mr. Bulls Insider Tier 1 Gottlieb, Will at Won't Gottlieb on Twitter. Thanks for stopping him, Will. Good to see you. Our producer, Joey. That's Big Dave. Bow Sports on Twitter. I'm at Bulls_Peck. I'm Matt. I'm happy. You should all be happy too tonight, Bulls fans. We could talk about the heavy stuff tomorrow. Tonight, enjoy this. Sleep with a smile on your face. The Bulls are playoff bound. Until next time, which is tomorrow for pregame. See you, Red. Be good.